Reuben, Gleepin, Gloppin, Glopin.
Super Fast Tortoise in the show, drinking coffee, wishing you all well, because life is swell. Super Fast Tortoise. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends have been the senses. Let's get up, it's sexless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow.
Hey, everybody! I want to know, whoa, if you're going to party it out, party. I want to party it out, whoa, party it out with Hillbilly and Lone Wolf. Will there be another? Who knows? Maybe Matt Saxon will just pop in like he magically does. I can't type fast enough for you guys.
Yep.
I don't know. I wanted to give a special shout out to Captain Waffles today. He hopped in the chat. Whoa.
So, Captain Waffles, how you been doing, Captain Waffles?
Yeah, we miss you. Hope you're doing good. Hope life is giving you the best of its spoils. Yeah. You know, you rock, you roll. And yeah. So today is a good day. It is a very cold day outside. The temperatures are frigid. I mean, like your sodas will probably pop and explode if you set them outside today. That's how cold it is.
Definitely. Same here. I mean, we're 33 degrees, but it feels like 28.
Those real feels will get you.
Oh, yeah.
Time for a science experiment then.
Right.
Yep.
That's funny. Science experiment. Let's see how many cans of soda we can get to explode outside.
Yep.
Oh, and thinking of Captain Waffles, we got Captain Waffles here today.
Oh.
Hey.
What's
What's up? Nice to see you. Nice to hear from you. I know life's been busy for you, so I've been hoping it's been well.
It's been, a lot of ups and downs, but that's life. But
Right.
I've definitely been working on some things behind the scenes and getting ready possibly to come back to the space after taking a much needed break. And probably come. It won't be this year. It'll be next year. But yeah.
Cool. That sounds awesome, everybody. Welcome, Captain Waffles. It's been a while, so hey, we're so excited. And today we got an awesome topic. We're going to talk about the scope of your commander deck. We kind of covered it before, so we're going to cover it again for the new people out there who don't know, who might want to know this stuff. Plus, we got people who've been growing in the deck building space who might have some stuff to offer. People who've been in more aggressive and competitive deck building. These tips that we're going to share with you today are going to be there for you. This is going to be good. It's more for the beginner, the people who are getting into the game. We want to make your deck building skills much better. Yeah. But anyways, how are you doing, Hillbilly?
Doing all right. This is a very interesting subject to me because I'm sort of feel like a beginner with my commanders still.
Oh, yeah. So one thing that's been on my mind recently is your deck building skills are lacking in Commander. And the reason why is because you're such a standard head. You play standard so much, you only think of standard decks. Like, you build good standard decks,
Yep.
So your brain's wrapped around the standard decks. Well, hopefully today we can kickstart your standard brain into a Commander brain. Yes.
I find it kind of hard for me just because of the simple fact I keep thinking standard all the dang on time.
Right. Yeah, Shiminuchi. He says, "Yes, I'm a beginner and I'm ready for this master class." Well, it's a
Oh.
master class in beginner stuff. And thanks to Lone Wolf for inspiring this. I had him
Cool.
watch an old video a while back ago that I did, and it helped him with his deck building process and thinking thoughts and whatnot. So we're hoping to bring it back and spice things up.
Cool.
Yeah. I actually had to search for that old video just to get a clip of what I'm trying to get. But anyways, my friends, it is that time of day where we get to a special time of day where we talk about the card of the day. Let's get to it.
Card of the day.
Card of the day is called Drag to the Roots.
Ooh.
I picked this card because we want to drag you to the roots of deck building so you can start growing. But this is a good removal spell from Duskmourn, my friends. Duskmourn. Yeah.
Yep.
Drag to the Roots costs 2 generic, a black, and a green. But as Delirium says, this spell costs 2 less to cast as long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, which is really cool. For 2 mana, you can destroy target non-land permanent. That's pretty solid. And it's instant. I need a copy of this card, everybody. I do.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a copy of this. I got a deck for it.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good card. I mean, a 4-mana destroy target non-land permanent is not horrible at instant speed, but if you have Delirium, 2-mana destroy target non-land permanent is amazing. A non-land permanent is a planeswalker. It's an artifact. It's a creature. It's an enchantment. It's anything you want it to be. You can even destroy your own battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely an auto include in any green-black commander deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty chill. It's chill-tastic. And it's funny because I forgot this card existed, but I typed in roots because I was looking for another card, and this popped up. I'm like, this is a better card than what I was looking for. So,
Were you looking for Insidious Roots?
yeah.
How did I know?
Because you're smart. You're smart. But with that, my friends, we're going to roll on to the picture of the day. Reading the card explains the card. Yes. Especially when it comes to removal spells, everybody.
Yep.
When you read the card, explain the card, all that fun stuff. One thing you want to do when you're using removal in your decks is make sure you know what's happening on the board because your opponents might have hexproof, ward, or something. So keep an eye on reading the cards all the time.
Yep.
Yes. Part of the playing commander is understanding the board state completely.
Right.
And sometimes like when I was doing tournaments, I'd write down board states or memories of when I got to look at my opponent's hand or what cards were in their hand and write them down. Taking notes is fine. It's fine. You can take notes of the board state and stuff. You can make little notes to remind you of triggers and stuff like that. Yes.
Well, also, my little judge tidbit here, you can always ask your opponent too. They cannot falsify or misrepresent board state.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. You could always ask. And yes, asking is important because like I normally ask what's on their board state, but sometimes one thing they don't have to answer very much. Well, at least people think they don't. Is if you know a card in their hand because they revealed it, sometimes you have to write it down because you don't get that information all the time. Because one of the things I learned when I was playing modern, or not modern, but standard, and Thoughtseize was in the format. We'd play Thoughtseize, look at our opponent's hand, then we would write down every card in their hand that we know of at that time. And make a little checklist whenever they played a card based off that list. So it gave you information. And trust me, my memory sucks. So writing notes can be very handy.
Yeah, and to counter on that, there's 3 types of information in Magic. There's known information, there's hidden information, and then there's the one in between. So, like when you see somebody, you write down cards. Say you don't write the whole name, like you write Baborgamos, right?
Right.
There's multiple Baborgamos out there. But if you can describe the one you're trying to name,
Mhm.
that's like that middle one of like, they don't have to tell you the name of it, but as long as you can describe it correctly, then
Nice.
it becomes an understanding of implied information.
That's good. Yeah, because I remember that. I remember what you're talking about because someone did that because they were running two Barbarigmoses in standard at the time, and he said Barbarigmos, and the guy got away with being able to say, "Well, you didn't name this one, so I thought this one." So yeah, so rulings are important on that part for sure. Can you imagine having multiple cards in standard or in a format? Jeez, modern, legacy, commander. how many stuff you need? Hey, awesome. If someone thought sees you and ask again 3 turns later, hey, what was the red card in your hand? Again, you don't have to say right. That's why taking notes is very important on that part. Appreciate the comment for sure. Yeah. Interesting. That's right. That's an interesting fact because it's like triggers. Like, for example, if you have a card that has a May ability on it, and someone misses that trigger or that activation or whatever, well, trigger in this case, if they miss that trigger and it's a May ability, they can't go back and fix it because it was a May ability. They had the chance to activate it or use the trigger, but since they forgot about it, they can't go back. Where some cards have abilities that have to happen, and that's like that says do this at this trigger, and it happens. They can go back and fix that. So reading the card explains the card that way too, because sometimes a missed trigger can end games for someone.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that every May trigger in the game is a beneficial trigger.
Yes.
And that's why you can miss beneficial triggers, but you can't miss detrimental triggers.
Right. I believe that's correct. Because I don't think there's a detrimental trigger, as you say, that's a May ability. Like you don't get a card that says target player may discard a card. You don't get that. But when it's beneficial, like you can have a card that says at the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard a card. That would be beneficial because usually there's something attached to it.
Right.
Yeah. So good thing, man. Captain Waffles, you're on fire today. Thank you. But all right, let's get past the picture of the day. And with that, we're going to get to a sweet little segment of the comment of the day or the question of the day. And today's question of the day is brought to you by TCGdude. You can check out his channel link in the description below. Heck, if you want to, Captain Waffle still has a link in the description below if you want to check him out for his old content that he has up. It's pretty interesting, pretty good stuff. Let's get to the question of the day.
Hey y'all, TCGdude here, and today's question is, what is your favorite trading card accessory? Sleeves, deck boxes, maybe a holder for your deck boxes. What is your favorite TCG accessory?
Ooh. What is your favorite TCG accessory? Deck box, sleeves, tokens. Heck, for all I care, one of my favorite things, it could be these little plastic containers for cards. You can have those dry erase tokens. You can have deck boxes. Which do you prefer the most?
Playmats. Playmats is my number one.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, playmats are awesome.
You'll see in my next video that I upload. It's the aesthetics is completely different now where I'm filming, so you will see what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Right now, I would have to say sleeves.
Is that because you need more sleeves?
Always.
Oh,
You can't have enough sleeves.
all right.
But, I mean, there's so much, but I guess I could say just the necessities.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have sleeves, you got to have a deck box. I mean, play mat's not a necessity because you can just play on your kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it can be good to have a play mat
Mm-hmm.
to play the game. You only need the necessities. I would consider sleeves and a deck box a necessity.
Yeah, sleeves, deck box are a necessity, but they could be your favorite things. Like,
True.
for example, this is one of my favorite deck boxes. It comes apart, has a little drawer in it for some got off a reason. I don't know what for. Dice, maybe. It's not big enough for tokens. That's one of my favorite deck boxes. I love the deck boxes with the window for your commander. I didn't know those existed until my wife got me one, and I'm like, that's really cool. What about you, Lone Wolf?
I got two different answers for this because one is for necessity and one is for favorites. My favorites would have to be the deck. I might get these confused, but my favorite's probably deck boxes because it keeps my decks organized and everything, so I don't have to figure out where all my decks are at.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, the necessity, and this is based off my OCD, would be card sleeves because I cannot stand to play Magic without card sleeves.
Card sleeves. Yeah, sleeves are important. Sleeves are important. I'm with Hillbilly. A perfect sleeve. A Dragon Shield sleeves. That's right. Well,
Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
that's right. Well, I got something that's kind of a shill, but I really like them. I really like it. But customized tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Those are one of my favorite things at the moment. Simple as that. Like I've been getting into the idea of customizing things, which one of our channel goals is to earn $300. So I can either get 4 hats made and give away a couple of them, or get pins made and give away those. So I right now I'm into customization. So customization of things, like if I can get a customized deck box, which I can if I have the money, I can get customized deck boxes.
Cool.
So right now, customizing. My favorite things, tokens right now, because those are the most customized things I got right now. Ooh, but with the question of the day out, let's get to the topic of the day. The scope of your commander deck. What is the scope? Lone Wolf, do you want to care to try to explain the scope?
I actually don't entirely know what you mean.
But you watched the video.
You know how long ago that was?
Only a couple weeks ago. All right. The scope of the scope of your commander deck building is all about knowing proportions and having an idea of proportions. Like, the reason why I call it scope is because, like, say you're going hunting or target practice, you look through the scope and you're looking at the numbers aside, and you're always trying to get to the target in the center as best you can, even knowing there's a difference altercation between the scope and the tip of the gun, right? And you're always trying to equal those out. And you're trying to equal it out so you can hit your target the best you can. So that's why I call it the scope, because when you're designing the deck, you're trying to hit your target, the specified basic deck, the best you can. Hope that made sense. Or I'm just a lunatic. But with that, let me pull up this little graphic here of what I mean the scope. So I just edited this today. That's why the last words are not capitalized all the way through. The scope is telling you the numbers of cards you want in your deck with the variations. And this is for newer beginner deck builders, saying in your deck you want this amount of stuff and you want this amount of stuff. Saying the ideal perfect deck. Not really perfect deck altogether, but the dream of a perfect deck follows these kind of suits. In Commander, let's be specific. Commander, not standard. All right. The land count is like 37 lands. You want to run around 37 lands in your deck. Now, varying on the deck and the practice, you might change the number from 36 or maybe to 38. But 37 is a good even number. When you're starting to build a commander deck, start with 37 lands. Right? Like, because as you get into lands, and Hillbilly, this is for you. When you get into the lands and you start with 37 lands, and you start getting non-basic lands and certain non-basic lands for your deck, you want to keep this kind of number in your mind, your thought process. Because as you get better at deck building, you start thinking about what cards are in your deck. Like, for example, your mana ramp and draw cards, which is on this list. You want to kind of put a focus on your lands to get those mana ramp and draw cards played early as possible. So if you have a lot of blue-green mana ramp and draw cards in your deck in a 3 to 4 color deck, you're going to put a focus on those mana ramp and draw card spells so you can cast them and fix your mana and draw those cards. Same with removal spells. The third option on here, removal spells. When you're fixing your land count, you want your 3 main colors of your deck to focus around the removal spell. So if you're like in black, green, blue, like Sultai, and let's say your Mothman deck, say most of your mana ramp and removal spells are black, green, you're going to want to put an emphasis on that black, green in your land count. Because your mana fixing will fix the third and fourth colors of your deck. That's why it's important to get the mana ramp and draw cards fixed around your land. Richie Dubs, sup, fellas? President.
What's up?
Richie Dubs, long time no see. Live to see ya. Woo, Hillbilly, what did you do?
What? I'm innocent.
Gifted 10 subs. And you're 15 months in membership. Nice. I'm surprised that didn't pop up on the regular. That's cool. Oh, well, let's see who got subs. We got Core, Posy Brown, Mr. Mimsy, Vampire, got Bearded Poketuber, got Metamana Malcolm, we got Loco Taco, nice. We got McTierney, and we got Richie Dubs, and we got CK. Oh, CK, nice. Pretty cool. Richie Dubs chilling. Thank you, Hillbilly. That's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's insane. All right, back to the topic. I appreciate that 100%. Supporting the channel, getting our goals set and going. All right. So, like I was explaining, the land count. The land count 37. You're going to put a focus on your mana ramp, draw, and removal. The colors of them, you're going to try to keep them in 2 colors. In 3 color decks, so you get the fix of it. You're gonna have more colors. You're gonna have more colored spells in your deck, like creatures and things like that, which you'll supplement for in your diverse gameplay strategy. Being if like your mana ramp is blue, black, green, and a lot of black, green, and a lot of your creatures are blue and blue, black, and blue, green. You're gonna fix your mana ramp, and you're gonna start working on your deck building skills accordingly to playing your fixing your creatures and you're having your removals ready, because sometimes your opponents get better board state than you before, so you want to get around that. You want to work around that. Hence why they call me the king of board wipes, because board wipes take care of anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked it only says 8.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. I thought it would say at least 15.
Oh my lord. All right, so board wipes aside, my friends. Mana ramp and draw cards, you kind of want 12 of each, but 12 all together, right? But if you look at the little yellow text on the side, it says you want to sneak in more draw in your deck attached to other spells and abilities and effects. So you want mana ramp and draw spells, like 12 of them, but wherever you can on a creature, on a removal spell, on some different spell that helps your synergy and your deck building, you want to sneak in more draw. You want to get more cards in hand and constantly refill your hand so you're never dropping less than 4. As much
You
as
can
possible.
even sneak your draw in on some of your mana ramp stuff, like Mind Stone and Commander Spear and a couple others.
Great,
Yep.
great advice. That's right. Like getting that draw is important. Drawing cards is one of the top things you want to do in Commander. Mana ramp is one of the top things you want to do in Commander. That's why in the scope I put both together. They're two different things, but they're equally important to me.
Right.
Because you want to be able to play the spells you're going to cast, especially the bigger spells later. You want to draw the cards so you constantly get those cards in your hand. Sometimes you get more land in your hand and get through pockets and stuff like that. Drawing cards is very effective.
And a good card, if you have lots of lands in your hand and you're in blue-green, is Spiral Growth, because you get to draw a card and put a land into play.
Yeah, that's good. The growth spiral. Yeah. Yeah.
Same difference.
No. You know how your brain hears something and it fixes it automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But removal spells. So people I play against are new players. Like newer players, I noticed don't put a value on removal spells. Right? Like newer players just don't. They want to play the big, splashy, fun spells. They want to play this spell. They want to play that spell. But they don't think about playing removal spell because they're thinking about all the cool other spells they want to play. They want to play this 10/10 creature. They want to play this card that makes like infinite treasure tokens, basically. Or they want to play something that gives all their creatures haste. Or something that makes their deck more fun to play. More casual, right?
Call those Timmies.
Yeah, all those Timmies love to build casual decks, pretty much. But removal is very important. And you need a broad amount of removal. Like I say, removal spells, and you're going to think creatures, right? You're going to think creatures. Removal spells remove creatures. And you see I separate removal spells from board wipes. Like Architect puts all my removal spells with my board wipes. But I separate the two, and that's for a different reason. But you need removal spells that can take one or two different targets out. Like you got the red, black, green card from Ravnica. I can't remember the name, but it costs one generic of green and black and destroys target creature or enchantment. You want cards like that. You want cards like Beast
Putrefy.
Putrefy, thank you. Putrefy is a card. Then you want cards like
Mortify.
Well, that Mortify works too. Destroy target artifact or creature. I think I got those backwards.
You did.
Putrefy
Putrefy is the artifact, Mortify is the enchantment.
Yeah. But then you want cards like Generous Gift in your deck if you're running white, or Beast Within if you're running green, because it destroys target permanent. And target permanent can be a land.
Or even in blue, Pongify.
Pongify! Well, yeah. Pongify is really good. Destroy target creature for 1 blue.
Yep.
That makes a 3/3 ape creature token, I believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like module spells where it's like choose one or more. Like you can, like I can't think of one off the top of my head all of a sudden, but there's ones out there that like the charms. Okay, the charms will say like Esper Charm is draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, destroy target enchantment, or I forget what the last effect is. But those module spells help too because they're not just a dead card in your hand at any given time. You can utilize them for any aspect of the game.
Right. So,
but they also act like a removal spell.
Right. So removal spells that are modal spells that have different abilities are solid for sure. Because there's not always time you need a removal spell, but sometimes you need to exile a player's graveyard. Like Rakdos' charm. Rakdos,
yep.
Having modal spells on removal spells is solid. And
which removing a graveyard is like a removal spell too, because if they're playing a reanimator strategy, now you've eliminated a big theme of their deck.
Oh yeah, and kind of think about it, which deck doesn't play from the graveyard anymore? So many cards have so many decks having ways to get stuff from the graveyard. So keep an eye on that graveyard with a removal spell, even with a land like Bajuka Bog, is a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. And in your removal spells, you want about 10 removal spells in your deck, but 10 removal spells is about the average number. People normally go for 12 to 14 removal spells, but also like Mana Ramp and Draw, they try to attach it to other cards with different effects, which Waffles was talking about on modular spells, those spells with multiple abilities, because, you always want to be flexible with cards in your hand, People try to attach more with other spells, abilities, and effects because sneaking it in gives you more control, more average of the game. Yeah, it keeps you going and flowing. Removal spells are important. Go ahead.
What? I said, yep.
Yep. And
Another thing that could be also, so there's other things that are like pseudo removal spells.
yeah,
So like a bounce spell can be a removal spell, especially if you use it on a token, because the token will cease to exist.
right.
Also, a removal spell could also be a fight spell, where you have one of your creatures fight another creature to kill something.
Oh yeah.
Or even just the fact of like you can have a removal spell that acts as a counter spell,
Right.
to eliminate certain things in the game. So that realistically, you can make this as complicated as you want it to be.
Mhm.
But as we were saying, like removal spells aren't just something that kills something. It's also something that could return something to the hand, return it back to the library, all kinds of different things. What you're doing is removing the threat from the field.
Right, from the battlefield. Get rid of it, stop it. And there's a lot, yes, there are a lot of different kind of removal spells. And that also depicts what a removal spell is and what color you're in. Blue is counter spells and bounce spells. White is blinking effects, which is good for tokens and stuff, but you got stuff like Banishing Light, which are enchantments that remove creatures from the play and so on and so forth. One of the things you want to do with the removal spells is know your color's removal, right? And theme it around your synergies. Like one of my decks, my enchantment deck, all my removal spells are all enchantments, because of synergy. But you can do different things. Like for example, sometimes it's fun to go with synergy or theme. Like in my Jurassic Park deck, and I always talk about this, I run Generous Gift in my Jurassic Park deck because John Hammond in the book had a little caged elephant he'd showcase as he sold Jurassic Park to people. Yeah. Steven Reckon. This is my scope. 38 lands, 2 board wipes, and all decks minimum. And I consider the theme. I'm going for it. I'm filling as much card draw and ramp I can fit. It supports by anything. That's a good way to look at it for someone's personalized deck preference.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean this outline you have is a very generic, like basic starting point. Like this isn't like this is how you should build every deck, because realistically, like I said, you can make this as complicated as you want. This is a very good start for people who are beginners who don't really know what they should be doing if they're trying to build one on their own rather than buying a precon. Or
Right.
even if they buy a precon, they can lay it out and do this and look at the layout of that precon versus this kind of basic guideline.
Right.
And they can mix and match as they go. But I mean, you get into some of these commanders, 37 lands is way too much for certain commanders. Actually, I think Urza, I played like 32 lands because I had so many mana rocks with like Mana Crypt and Mana Vault and all the other stuff that it was just too much land. So and then board wipes, some people play 4, some people play 15 like super fast, and then then with removal spells, it's like some decks don't play hardly any removal spells because they're trying to Voltron and the removal spells is just going to get in the way. They'd rather draw more and get the combos out online than worrying about what their other players are doing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and you're very right about the Voltron deck. Like my strongest Voltron deck only has 2 removal spells in it and 2 board wipes. You know, because you're right. Removal in that particular kind of deck gets in the way of the strategy, the theme, and the draw. All right, let's see. For my alloy deck, stuck to vehicle mana rocks because being vehicles, they can be used as to trigger allies discover. That's pretty cool. That's a good way to look at it too.
Yep.
All right, so my number one tip for beginning players, if you have not played Commander or bought anything for Commander or started Commander, don't. That's my number one tip. Don't. If you've already fell into the trap, well, my next tip for, like, let's say you've played like 1 or 2 games of Commander and you're trying to get into deck building and figure out the whole dynamic of like a group of like 4 people and trying to figure out how to maneuver who you attack and all this, go to your local LGS when they have a 2-headed giant sealed event.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2-headed giant will help you better prepare, because there's 4 players. There's your teammate and then the team you're facing. So it's already 4 players, but you have a partner and you learn the dynamics of certain cards that say each opponent or each player better when you have more people involved in the game. And with 2-headed giant, it helps you with deck building to learn how to build for multiple players versus a one-on-one game. I played a lot of 2-headed giant before I ever played Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went to Commander, it was an easy transition.
Right. That makes sense. And, you know, playing the game more and more will help your deck studies better. Like, you'll study your deck, you'll study how it plays. You'll see how other people build their decks and what cards they use. Sometimes it'll give you inspiration for your deck building. You know, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 board wipes. Jeez. I caught that. I heard you. I don't think I have a deck with 15 board wipes in it. I have a deck with 10.
So you ain't got one with 15 in it yet.
Right. But anyways,
Yes.
I make the joke. Because we're on the board wipes. Board wipes. All right. So board wipes are a finicky thing. I say run 8 board wipes, and that's for the beginner. Because you know what? Beginners are going to need the board wipes. As you get better at deck building, you can add a little more, you can add a little less. You can take and shift, right? You can take and shift how many board wipes you want. Like, I have a deck that needs more board wipes in it. Like last night, I needed a board wipe. And I have a deck that can't use a board wipe. Really. It's funny when you learn your deck and your deck styles, and when you build different decks and different strategies, you'll find out that your board wipes are very substantial to your theme for some decks, and for other decks, it's not substantial. You know, like my Dragons deck runs a crap ton of board wipes. My Dinosaur deck runs 5 board wipes. My Rafik of the Mini deck runs 2 board wipes. And I'm saying this because the synergy, the theme, and the deck playability changes the amount of how many board wipes you need in a deck. So 8's just a starting number here. And most cases you want a really good one. Like, people will frown upon you if you play Jekyll Hops. But you play Damnation, people are fine with that. Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, basic board wipes, things that destroy all your opponent's non-basic spells. Pretty good. Board wipes are usually fairly adjusted. And like, you'll play certain board wipes for certain strategies. Like in my Jurassic Park 5-color deck, most of my board wipes in that deck only affect my opponents. That's because I can play them for 5 mana. That's pretty solid. But you want board wipes to be able to reset the board and get your game back up. But that number will adjust. But with the numbers that you see on screen, that gives you a deck body of 32 cards to figure your deck out, right? So if you're running 12 mana rampant draw, 10 removal, and 8 board wipes, and 37 lands, you got 32 cards in your commander deck. 32 cards. That's not a lot of cards when you try to put together a commander deck outside of that scope, right? But like I said, when you're building your deck, you're going to try to sneak in spells and modal spells with mana ramp, draw, removal attached to it. So you're going to add more to that, but you want to keep your synergies inbound too, and you want to keep your theme inbound too, and that's where you get thick with your themes. Like, well, one of the things that people used to struggle with back in the day, where it's very hard to struggle with now, is consistency. There's so many repeat effects on cards and stuff. You can be consistent, because one of the things you want to do when building your commander deck is have that consistency. Hence the numbers to the removal, mana ramp, and draw. That's one of the things you want to work with, and you want to. And one of the big tips for newer players is you want your mana ramp, draw, and removal spells to be as cheap as possible.
That 32 isn't including the commander, correct? If I did my math right.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Also, you get an experience. You get familiar with more variety of board wipes than can be one-sided, like board wipes for non-tokens only. Oh yeah, and the This Matters wipe. That's right. There's all kinds of board wipes.
Like austere command too. If you're playing like a weenie deck, you can choose 4 or greater on mana cost, and it wipes everything but you.
Right.
And then my personal favorite, but it hits everybody, is Farewell.
Yeah.
Farewell is a really good board wipe. It's it's on the annoying spectrum of Cyclonic Rift.
Yep.
And that's good. Like, we needed one of those apparently, and it's ruining games for everybody. No kidding. Farewell.
So I have to ask this because you said it. Since when is Jockle Hops frowned upon?
Well, it's frowned upon when people's lands are destroyed.
Yep.
Oh, just had to make a little joke.
I know. I mean, you sent me the card as a fun collector's gag, so I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the card Jockle Hops. It does everything I want, but not everything everybody else wants.
Right.
Anyways, so this scope is here to explain the basics, the super basics. And so what this does is it gives you room to know how many cards are in your deck, basically, and what kind of synergy you want to throw in your deck. Just to let you know, my friends, mana ramp, draw is part of your deck synergy. There's 2 different types of synergy. You got deck synergy, then you got theme synergy. Deck synergy is how well your deck works together, right? And the theme synergy is how your deck synergizes with other cards for the theme of your commander and what your deck wants to do. Steven says you also want at least one answer to every type of permanent, if possible. Yes.
Yep.
And that's very, very solid advice. Right?
Yeah. Also, like having cards that like return to dust, right? You can use it at instant speed for a 1-of, or you can use it on your turn at sorcery speed to hit 2 things. So being able to have that, it's not modular, but it's also like, hey, I spent my turn, but I got something extra.
Oh yeah, I swear that's one of Hillbilly's favorite cards. He plays it all the time.
Yep.
Somehow, when he's running his vampire deck. Like every time, he plays his vampire deck. That's one of the cards he consistently gets.
It's been a while since I played that deck, though.
Right, but memories. Yeah. But anyways, so my
memories or trauma.
Both. like it's how you get your nicknames, right? The trauma of things. Like, they call me the board wipe king because how many times can Tortoise board wipe? Well, how many enchantments can Hillbilly destroy?
Kind of curious to know what mine was.
Your decks were pretty well solid at being different and having a power level above approach. Like, you can tell you're a pro player by the way you build your decks, because you can pilot 2 different decks and be strong with it. So you were good with removal, but you had one deck that made everything. You had one deck that you played that had made everything indestructible or consistently returned sagas from your graveyard to the play and did all that kind of stuff. Then your artifact deck. Well, I guess the biggest thing based off based off your habitual behaviors is you could fill a board super quick.
Yep.
Yeah, I like free spells.
That's right. So like if you could do anything, you could fill a board super quick, That's just pretty cool. Which was the name?
I remember there was that one game where it went where I was playing Urza, and I think it was like turn 3. I had like 15 permanents on the board, and Hillbilly's like, I have 2 lands in play.
Yeah.
2 lands.
I remember that. I was like, oh man.
We're trying to get Hillbilly better at building decks and fixing decks. I mean, I felt bad for Hillbilly the other day, but it was funny. For me, it was funny. It wasn't funny for Hillbilly. But he had barely 4 lands and enchantment on the battlefield. He got wiped from the game.
Yep.
like it was funny for me because he always talks about getting rid of me on my games first. Right?
He's gonna get you back for that, Tortoise. I hope you know that.
Well, it's like that one time where I did 80 damage to him. Then like not even 2 weeks later, you do 1,000 damage to everybody.
And I didn't have no part of that. I wasn't there.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, sounds like I need to bring the deck back so when Hillbilly plays, I can do it again.
No.
No.
Right. But yeah. So I like the Edgar Master Mechanist deck. It's not the best, but when it pops off, it's pretty satisfying and can look non-threatening. Yeah, so is a Hearthworld deck. I want to get a copy of that deck. I'm too broke. Because Hearthworld looks fun. Like it's not very salty because you're sacrificing your own lands. You're not destroying other people's lands. Isn't that right, Mr. Land Destroyer down there?
That's not necessarily true because I could destroy people's lands if I wanted to.
Well, yeah, Trip Mine and Dust Bowl or whatever it's called.
Well, it
And
comes
Jungle Hop. And Jungle Hops.
Jungle Hops, that's right.
And that deck does come with a card that will destroy your opponent's lands.
And it's a board wipe.
Yeah, they do. Like, there's ways to get, like, it's always smart to have at least 2 ways to destroy a land in your deck. Steven says, like last game I played, the guy before me all out against the other guy next to me, not realizing that I could swing for 22 commander damage unblockable. That's insanity. Insanity. Yeah.
See, if I'm destroying lands, I'm winning the game because the only way I ever did it was having a Darksteel Forge, Mycosynth Lattice, and go destroy all artifacts, and everything just died except my stuff.
Wow.
All right, Lone Wolf, don't put that in your idea list. Just keep that out.
It's already in the deck.
That was funny. No, there are different ways. Like Enchanted Evening and Destroy All Enchantments is a fun way to board wipe too. Look at this. We were talking about deck building for beginners. Now we're talking about like crazy little combos that destroy your lives. It creates PTSD. But no, it's good. It's good. But yeah, so I really hope today's episode was really good for you guys and like good for the new beginner, whoever watches this. Hope you guys get some good inspiration for that newer beginner player, deck builder, precon builder. Maybe next episode we'll talk about how to look at a commander deck because I always break up my decks into like the scope, and I always break my deck into parts to kind of see how a deck should play out. So that'd be interesting if I could do that.
So here's my last little bit of advice for new commander players, and it's not satire this time.
Right.
Number one, you're probably going to lose a lot, and that's okay because losing gives you growth. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from the players that you're playing against. So go into it knowing that you might be getting really like raffle stomped,
Right.
but take notes. Learn what cards people are using and what you could possibly put into your deck and what synergies you can do. And if those players are going to offer you advice, listen to it. You don't have to take all of it, but take note and listen to what they're saying and kind of mull it over as like, you know what, that could work. Or, not everything somebody gives you is great advice, but,
Right.
at least listen to it to see what you could possibly learn. Because back in my early days before Commander, when I used to draft, I was a terrible drafter, like god awful. Like how
Right.
you were explaining earlier, Hillbilly is a really good Standard player, and Standard doesn't transition well into Commander a lot of the times.
Right.
Same thing with Draft. Draft and Standard, completely different formats. And I drafted as if I was playing Standard, and I learned that the environment of Draft is completely different than Standard. Same thing with the environment for Commander is completely different than Standard, Modern, Legacy, whatever. One-on-one, completely different than for free-for-all. So, just pay attention to your opponents, see what they're doing, learn as much as you can, because the more people you play that are better than you, the more you're going to grow if you keep your mind open and pay attention.
Right. One thing I want to know is drafting actually helped me become a better Commander player, and that's because it's similar to a singular format.
Well, yeah, so drafting helps, I think, every aspect of the game for you, for anybody, because you have to read the cards, you have to dissect the card, you have to understand if it has validity or usefulness in that format. But then also when you read it, you're like, when you've played long enough, you're like, oh, this is definitely a Commander card, or oh, this is definitely a Modern card, or oh, this will fit well in my draft deck.
Right.
Like, you definitely learn how to evaluate cards on a level of like, this isn't good in draft, but man, this is going to be amazing in my such and such Commander deck.
Right. Or this will be better in Standard with multiples.
Yep.
Because, like, one thing you learn in Limited is some cards, like Liliana the Veil, is not super powerful by herself in Limited. She can be, but when there's multiples of her, she's better. And meaning in Commander, which has a higher stake, she's not as good as a single of. So it's interesting what you can learn. And yes, to make a joke, Hillbilly's been learning a lot lately. And we're trying to get Hillbilly to learn more.
I'm a try.
We're trying.
I am a try.
But he'll get another chance to learn tonight when we play some Commander. But,
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, my friends, it is time of the day where we get to a specific little part of the show where we get to
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we game. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
woo, everybody. Chill out, relax. Come on, we're in the chill section, the thrill section, the section where you can find out where you can find us if you want to watch our community or just grow Lone Wolf's channel for no reason because he ain't streaming anything.
For now.
For now. But anyways, we're going to start with Lone Wolf to talk about what he wants to talk about.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And I don't have the link, but I'm going to give everybody a little bit of an update on our GoFundMe. We are actually close to our first goal, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has helped and helped spread the link. We are still trying to look out for an apartment to get that ball rolling, but we're getting closer to our first goal. So, like I said, I appreciate that. And then let's get Hillbilly and Tortoise up to 1,500 subscribers. We're getting pretty close on them, I think.
All right, your GoFundMe link is in the chat. If anybody wants to help by donating or sharing the link. All right. And with that, we're going to roll over to Captain Waffles.
Well, like I said earlier, I've just been kind of on a hiatus and dealing with a lot of personal stuff in life, and I want to get back into it. Just figuring out what direction I'm going to take the channel. Because, little spoiler, I have sold all of my physical Magic cards. I am no longer playing physical Magic as of right now. I still play Arena, but I'm taking a new approach to some things in my life. And even though Magic has been part of my life for over 25 years, I feel like it's time to move on from it in a way that's just different. So I'll still put out some content here and there for Magic and talk about it and shame Hasbro and all that. But it's yeah, I'm probably after the start of the year, so be on the lookout for after the 1st of January.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like you don't have to do Magic content to chill out with us, you know.
Oh no, I mean if you've watched some of my older videos, it has nothing to do with Magic. So
yeah, true. And with that, we're gonna roll over to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. This afternoon, I will be around 2 o'clock. I will be doing another arena stream. And if you ever want to be a part of a stream, you can come to my channel and be a part of my Discord because I'm always throwing out the Discord link. Then you can jump into the Discord under chat room in there, talk chat room, and join in on the stream. And we can brew a deck together. Or you can just hang out there on the stream and the stream's going. I got the game playing into the Discord, so you don't miss any of the action or anything like that. But that option is always there, and that's all I got planned for today.
All right, my friends, everybody, Super Fast Tortoise here. Yeah, tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to try to play some Bracket Commander. Well, I don't know if it's Bracket 3, Bracket 4 yet. I'll figure it out tonight. But if you're part of the Discord and you're subscribed to the channel and you got a setup for Spell Table, possibly you can play with us because we appreciate it when you guys play with us. You know, we just love it. But we're going to have a blast, play some Commander. I have to select my Commander for tonight, try to get a thumbnail made. That's how I don't know what Commander I'm playing right now, but that's the goal. That's the dream. Play some Commander with good friends, good times, everything. So if you're part of Discord, hit me up. Let me know if you're interested. And hey,
or you could hit me up for that.
That's right. You can hit on Hillbilly. He doesn't mind.
Just don't hit me.
That's right. So with that, my friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, chilling out with us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for becoming members of the channel, Hillbilly. It's a little flashback. But anyways, I want to thank you, Hillbilly, Captain Waffles, Lone Wolf, for making this a great stream. And everybody in chat, thank you for engaging with us and talking with us. You make this channel roll. I want to thank you, channel members, for growing the channel the way you do. I want to thank you, channel subscribers, for growing the channel the way you do. You rock, you roll. I want to remind you that you are awesome. You are amazing. You are loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today. You might be the change you need today. With that, my friends, we're going to go into the end credit stuff. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show.